Hello everybody, how are you? So this is a update video from the video that I made back in March, and that was a book, that was a video where I wrote out a list of 100 books to read before you die. And out of the 100 books, I had read 33. I have to say, sorry, I'm just going to babble to myself. That's about roughly 9, and that's about roughly 9, and yeah, it just does not look even up way at all because of the Martian. But anyway, right, okie doke. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the books that I had read and the books that I've read so far since. Because in March, whenever I made the first video in my 39 years of, well, actually back then I was 38, so much happier and younger, full head of hair, fantastic. Back then, over my full course of life, from the list of 100 books, I had read 33. Now, obviously I've read 100 more, but you don't get a lot of John Grisham or Tom Clancy or Michael Crichton or various other books on the list, or a good bit of Maeve Binchy, So, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to write out the 33 books that I had read previously, and then I'm going to write out the 33 books that I've read from the list in the previous 3.5 months. I just washed my hands and I've got ink on my fingers. So clumsy. Now, the books that I have read from the first video, they're in no particular order, because obviously I have no idea of the order of the books that I've read during my life. But the books that I've read since, they will be in order because I've marked them off. So, in no particular order, we have To Kill a Mockingbird, The Catcher in the Rye, and then I'm also going to write out the books that I still have to read from this list. I have quite a lot of them behind me. Catch-22. I have quite a lot of the books, about now 20 books sitting on the shelves behind me. Great Expectations. And the website where I buy all my books from. I have about another 20 in the basket. Lord of the Flies. Don't know why it is small over a big TV anyway. Lord of the Flies. Ulysses. Basically, it's the barometer for all books. If you can read Ulysses, you can read everything. Dracula. The Lord of the Rings. Heart of Darkness. Now, I just read the 33rd book from the next part. I just finished it this evening. It's taken me quite a while to read it. Well, I wouldn't say quite a while. The Hobbit. Maybe take me about 10 days. And it wasn't as bad a read as I thought it was going to be. come on to that later. The Da Vinci Code. So this gets on the list, but Tom Clancy doesn't explain that. The Hitchhiker's 2 H's? Yep. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Then we have A Tale of Two Cities. We have War and Peace. The Little Prince. 2 books there, slightly different in length. Don't know, is it the? I think it's the. Didn't have it in the first one. Maybe it's not the Life of Pi. It wasn't in the first list, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, Life of Pi. It's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The Book Thief. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. A Christmas Carol with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So moving on to page 2, we have The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We have Macbeth, and I see a flaw in my plan because Macbeth was both in this list and is also in the next list. I think it's because I wanted to read it again. We have The Girl with the dragon tattoo. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. We have Game of Thrones. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. and the Half-Blood Prince. Okay, we've got the Chronicles of Narnia. And then we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And that's all, which is weird because I counted 33 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, sorry, missed 2 from the front page. It's funny how often I've counted this page to make sure that I have 33. Oh, okay. Okay, find the ones I'm missing. And in ever so slightly different veins, we have Frankenstein and we have the Holy Bible. Okay, so those were the 33 books that I had read previously. So let's see. I'm going to write these out now in the order in which I read them. So this will take a wee bit longer because I need to find on the pages where each number is. So we begin with The Raven, although I sort of can't really call that a book, it was so short. Okay, number 2 was The Wind in the Willows. Number 3, my new all-time favourite book, The Count of Monte Cristo. Number 4, Little Women. So funny how in this period of reading books, I've been reading books that I would never have thought I'd ever read, and just thoroughly enjoying them. Of Mice and Men. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been one that I haven't enjoyed. Well, there's been a couple actually. Of Mice and Men's number 5. Number 6 is... Where's number 6? Pride and Prejudice. Another book that I would never have ever seen me reading. I really enjoyed it as well. Okay, number 7 is The Old Man and the Sea. Okay, number 8 is the first book that I really didn't like, Alice in Wonderland. Long story short, shut up, Alice. Number 9. Number 9 is Hamlet. Number 10, another book book I never thought I would have read, but actually really enjoyed. Anne of Green Gables. Number 11 is Slaughterhouse 5. Number 12 is Fahrenheit 451. Number 13 is a very long book to read, but I really enjoy the Russian books. It's the Brothers Karamazov. Number 14 is Crime and Punishment. Stuck with the Russian theme there. Number 15 is where are you, number 15? Okay. Couldn't read my own handwriting. Next up was Night by Eli Wiesel. Then Animal Farm. Followed by Brave New World. There's 17, and then 18. The Giver. Number 19 was The Great Gatsby. So number 20 is The Road. It's funny, for whatever reason, that book seems really long ago. So is The Great Gatsby, and these books all seem more recent to me. Okay, The Road was number 20. So next up, number 21, we have A Wrinkle in Time. And then 22 is 100 Years of Solitude. I have to say this book was hard going. It was really forced myself to finish the book. That was number 22. 23 was Charlotte's Web. Good thing about having so many books to read is once you finish one type, you can just pick an entirely different type of book altogether. 23, 24 was Midnight Children. This one is probably was my hardest to read. Probably the hardest book I've read since Ulysses. I just couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it to such an extent that I read the next 4 books whilst reading that one. So we have Romeo and Juliet, and then 36 is Madame Bovary. 27 is Macbeth again. So that just reminds me that in the next section I'm going to have 35 books instead of 34. But that was what, 27? 28 was David Copperfield. I like me a bit of Dickens, I do. David Copperfield. Number 29 was The Story of My Life. By Helen Keller. That was one hell of an inspirational read. Number 30 was and Never Shall Be Once If I Know. Number 30. (1984). Followed by 31, which is On the Road. By Jack Kerouac. 32 was And Then There Was None by Agatha Christie. And then the book that I finished this evening was Moby Dick. I think I know all there is to know about whale fishing, and spent quite a lot of time googling parts of ships. So those are the 33 books that I've read in the last 3.5 months. Alice in Wonderland wasn't great. 100 Years of Solitude was tough. Or was it Midnight's Children? It was hard going. But I have to say, I enjoyed a lot of those books. So that brings me up to, it was going to be 66, but now because Macbeth saw it twice, it's going to be 65. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out the books that are left. And just to carry on my little habit before of ticking books, I'm going to tick the books I have as opposed to the ones that I might have to buy yet. So first up we have Jane Eyre. That won't be a buy book, that'll be a Gutenberg book. Wuthering Heights. That's another book I can read from online. Wuthering Heights. Next up then is Anna Karenina. Still haven't figured out how to say it, but I do have it on the bookshelves behind me. Then we have The Grapes of Wrath. I also have that. We have Gone with the Wind. Lolita. The Handmaid's Tale. Middlemarch. It's another book that I do have. It's kind of daunting because it's really rather thick. It's like, that thick. And they're writing small. We have atonement. We have that. Then we have persuasion. I have that. Rebecca. I don't have that, but maybe another one I can find online. Then we have the secret history. I think that's by Donna Tartt. In which case I have it behind me. Or the secret garden. Then we have the time traveler's wife. And followed by the secret garden. I think I already have that one. Then we have the miserable. Which I have. Followed by the diary of Anne Frank. I actually have that sitting outside the room there. It's going to be the next book I read. So the diary of Anne Frank. After that we have the Hunger Games. Which I have. The Help. Basically, I've got a lot of books to read beginning with the Secret Gardens in this list twice. Okay. So it's not quite going to be 100 books, but I've also been working off lists of books from other sites. So we have Where the Sidewalk Ends. I'm sort of confused here because I sort of expect 100 books, but there's loads of books here that I haven't read. It's going to fit more than in here. Actually, do you know what? I think I just realised that there's more than 50 in this thing here. Maybe. Who knows? Shut up, Ken. Okay, so The Fault in Our Stars. By John Green. And then we have The Color Purple. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I suppose instead of having the 2 pages beside me for the last 3 months, I can just have this page, because these are all the books left. East of Eden. In Cold Blood. I forgot. Doesn't matter where you're working. Yeah, I don't think I have any of those. In Cold Blood. I've got The Stand. Outlander. Ender's Game. Watership Down. I have that. Memoirs of a Geisha. The scarlet letter. That's not one I can find online. The Pillars of the Earth. I'm pretty sure there's far more than 100 books on this list. How come I never noticed that the first time? The Pillars of the Earth. I have that. Catching Fire. The Princess Bride. I have that. And then we have Water for Elephants. The Secret Life of Bees. The Poisonwood Bible. The Odyssey. Which I have. The Good Earth. House of Earth. Number 1. Mockingjay. Mockingjay. It's not Mockingjay. Don't know. The Thornbirds. A Prayer for Owen Minnie. The Glass Castle. The Immortal Life. Of Henrietta Lacks. The Things They Carried. I think you can notice that I don't have a lot of the ones on this page. Things They Carried. Siddhartha. Beloved. Cutting for Stone. The Phantom Tollbooth. And finally, Celebrating Silence. Excerpts from 5 years of weekly notice, weekly knowledge. Okay, so let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 49. How come no one told me There was 120 books in the first video. What were you doing? So there are the 49 books that I've left to read. And I'm going to start off with the Diary of Anne Frank. I'll be back in a few months to let you know how I get on. Cheery bye.